Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Everyone,
Okay.
quick,
All right.
say their names.
Mac.
Donald. Da-da-da-da-da.
Not cool, man.
That's
Cool.
that is factually incorrect, right?
Great start.
Oh no! Well, awesome start.
Copyright. Oh, right. Oh, hold on. Wait, I should probably read out the opening before, right?
I'll just cut
Yeah.
everything up until the opening.
Or we can
No,
keep it
no,
in
no.
as
We're
an
gonna
opening.
leave this in. We're gonna make it organic,
I hope.
right?
Organic.
Yeah.
Right. See, we have been gone. We have been gone, and now we need to prove we're real still. All right. So I'll start the opening. We'll start the opening. Okay, here it is. Hey everyone, welcome back to That's True We Were There, a podcast about all things true. My name is Rice. It hasn't changed. And I'm joined by my good friends Guy,
Yeah.
Mungo,
Whoa.
formerly known as Mungo. He's always been Mungo. No one else. There's no one else.
No one.
Jazz,
Yep.
and not AJ. He's not here. He's kind of lame. And Mac.
Oh.
So this episode we'll be talking about a wide variety of things and everything in between. So tell you what, let's go down the class roster since it's school season again.
Teacher.
We'll go by what is it? What do you want?
Wow, I can't believe you answered to teacher. What a narcissist.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Go sit in the corner. Go.
No.
Go.
Yeah,
No.
go sit in the
I don't
Yeah,
want the
yeah.
dunce
Shut up,
hat.
pig.
Yeah. See all your But anyways,
Jeez.
Starting off strong.
here's
Starting
the
off
revival.
Strong.
We're back, everyone. For all I don't know, like 5 listeners we had.
Yeah.
We're back.
Hey, at
We're
least
back.
6.
We
At
appreciate.
least- okay,
we
yeah.
appreciate
No,
you anyway.
most likely 5. One of us probably didn't list a single episode. But yeah, okay, we're back, everyone. You know, we're better than ever. You know, it's a revival, not the cult-like one,
Or maybe.
but you know,
It could be.
maybe
in the
better.
future.
But you know, let's do roll call. Let's do roll call. All right, who wants to? You know, we'll go down by order in Discord. We'll go by order in
Okay.
Discord. All right,
Okay. Got it. Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. Understood. Okay.
Come on, man, it's your name. It's not that hard.
Okay.
It's like one syllable.
No. Give me time. Give me time.
It's just one
Yes.
syllable.
Listen, man, he might need a minute. You know. It's-
Okay.
I will put the dunce cap on your head.
This is a hard one.
Say your name.
Say your name, please.
I will say your name for
An
you.
entire hour passes.
Listen, you little sock puppet. Say your name.
Hmm.
Gosh darn it, just say it. His name is Guy.
I'm thinking I'm.
Hi everyone, I'm Guy. It's me. I'm Guy.
Listen. If you don't introduce yourself, I will give you a bunch of sleeping pills and then glue googly eyes over your actual eyes while you're asleep.
I wanna say it's dude, maybe man.
This is actually causing me physical pain. I can't even express it otherwise.
Okay, it's Guy. I'm Guy.
Okay. All right. Thank God.
All right, that's it. You're done. All right, next.
Hi, I'm Jazz.
Hey, what's up? I'm
That's it.
Mac.
That's how you do it.
Right,
That's
exactly.
Oh, okay. Just keep
This
talking
is how
over
you
me.
do
Just
it.
keep on talking over.
What? Huh?
Alright.
What?
Yeah, I'm Mac.
What? I couldn't hear you.
You will.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yo, it's me, Mungo. Check,
he's
please.
Been here the whole time.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, check,
Uh,
please. It's me.
Hey guys, it's me, Mr. Incredible from the hit movie The Incredibles. Check,
Check,
please.
Check, please.
And you know,
Uh-huh.
last and there's me.
Guy.
AJ.
Rice. Yeah, me.
Well,
I'm AJ.
Last and certainly least because he's not here. AJ.
Is AJ?
No, we don't
He's
like
not
him.
here.
He's not here.
Oh yeah, you're AJ.
It wasn't clear.
All
He
right,
likes.
prove it.
Yeah.
Give me your basic rundown of Destiny lore.
Okay, so basically, right, the Fallen.
Oh no.
Not even 5 minutes in, and we brought
So
him up.
basically, it started in Destiny
Oh,
1
guys.
when with all the Destinying,
Oh no.
you get
Guys,
to play
let
it.
me-
You get to play as a fellow Destinier.
No.
Let's get into
It was Fate.
guys.
It was Fate 0. maybe destiny even.
I'm gonna.
Oh my god.
I believe it was actually. It might have been Fate Grand Order, to be honest.
Wow.
So
Anyway,
Anyway.
the topics for today.
I'm gonna leave.
Do you say anyway or anyways?
I say anyway.
Anyway?
I think it's
Anyways?
anyway. I don't know about. I've never really.
Okay,
I've
if you wanna talk-
alternated.
Anyways, or anyway. Well, actually, no, I say anyways a lot more often.
Sometimes
Anyway-
I say anyways
anyway?
for like comedic effect. Like if somebody says something kind of out of pocket, you're like pause.
Anyways,
Anyways.
sitcom laughter.
So there I was.
Me in the future,
Check,
put sitcom
please.
laughter here. Put sitcom laughter right here. Just kind of make it really loud and overbearing. Yeah. Anyway,
Right, so you should just be different.
Just put in the. Also, make sure you insert
Really deep fried.
the Full House ending credits theme.
I put the Seinfeld theme, but that's copyright. So
It should
Like
be
the Full
our
House one,
rendition.
is it?
No, they actually
It should
forgot
be
to,
our
that's the
rendition
thing.
of the Seinfeld theme. Just be like, ha ha ha, it's me, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Can't you
That's
still
not
get
even how it goes.
copyrighted if you're like humming it?
No.
Oh, see, I hummed it wrong because I don't remember it.
Okay,
And
guys,
also
so
because
our
I can't be
first
on
topic,
key.
Right?
This coming from a man who could not introduce.
I'm pretty sure.
something
I'm looking
alive.
at,
At least-
the recording software. I'm looking at Audacity. I'm pretty sure it took him 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to like figure
You
it
guys
out.
wouldn't get it. You wouldn't.
Nah,
get
you're
it.
not in on the joke.
You just
really
don't
not.
understand. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Fine.
All right, cool.
All right. So okay.
All right.
Topic.
Okay.
All right. So we got 3 topics today. We're gonna do a little fun thing if we ever get to like all 3. But that'd be fun, right? If we got to all 3. So we've got irrational fears, right? We've got non-gaming hobbies, and we've got fast food munchies. Stop sending me Family Guy clips, guy. While I'm introducing the topic. So these are our 3 topics tonight, whenever.
If
Whenever
we
you listen to
have the
this.
attention span to keep it.
If we have the attention span, we've already. I think we've hit like the 7-minute mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've spent 7 minutes trying to introduce ourselves again, but that's kind of on par with how it goes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is that all you have to say for yourself?
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you everyone for coming.
Wait, for what?
Thank you everyone. That's the end of it.
The listeners did what?
Okay, guys.
Thank you
Let's
everyone
go on to
for
our first
coming.
topic.
Okay, so irrational fears. Irrational fears. We all have very irrational fears. I'm afraid of podcasting. Actually,
I feel like we all are.
It's a lot for me to be here right now.
Considering how
it's a lot for me to be here right now.
considering how infrequently we record, yeah, I could believe that all of us are.
What do you mean? The last time we recorded was definitely last week.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no,
dude.
I know, but if we were really serious about this, we would be recording at least daily.
Oh, that's
Daily.
true.
Absolutely daily.
That's true.
Mhm.
Our
I
editor.
personally wouldn't live without it.
Yeah, dude,
Our
we even have our
editor's,
own editor. That is definitely
Right,
not part of the
right.
team. Lol.
Oh yeah, no, never. We hired them with real money.
Yeah,
100%.
because we're just that big.
Real money. That's right. We're so big.
We're so famous.
I'm so big.
Yeah, I have this irrational fear of just like absolutely getting an actual editor because I also have a fear of money because I don't make any.
Yo,
Well, I mean that would solve your fear, right? If you had a fear of money and you didn't make any,
Then
you'd
you wouldn't have any
basically
money,
you'd be free.
and you'd be freed from your chamber.
It's like if you were afraid of water and you lived
typical
in a
liberal argument, honestly.
typical.
You know,
Cancel culture strikes again.
desert.
Cancel culture strikes
again.
Up yours, woke moralists. Let's see who cancels who. Now that's gonna date the episode.
It is. It really is. Yeah, we were supposed to be timeless, man. But now we're on. Now we're on time. We're actually, to be precise, we're almost at 9.5 minutes of
just
nothing.
Pure filler.
Of nothing.
Pure
Actual
filler.
garbage.
This is what a reintroduction to this brand that we've created.
yeah.
We're gonna start based on that wonderful Discord
Yes.
pecking order now.
Who's getting
Guy,
pecked?
go ahead. You're up to the plate. Go ahead. Irrational fears. Go ahead. Just give them.
Well, so I used to watch a lot of dash cam videos and traffic cam videos about car crashes where people just run red lights and T-bone each other and that kind of stuff. So I used to have
Right.
like a thing where I'd get really bad anxiety every time I was approaching a traffic light because I watched those videos so much.
Dude,
Oh.
as someone who's actually been who's been rear-ended, yeah, no, I completely fucking get that.
Yeah, none of my
That's actually
fears are
pretty legitimate.
irrational. They're all rational.
Yeah,
I
no,
used to have
I used to have really bad anxiety while driving.
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah. For me, it's when I'm on like longer drives. Now, since I gotta drive like 30 miles for work, I've kind of gotten used to it, so it's not as bad. But I used to get really bad anxiety on the highway.
Yeah, even for me, like, I don't consider myself a bad driver. I would say I'm a relatively good driver, but like, just driving sometimes, I can see how it just preys on your mind and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get T-boned here or whatever. It's just like, people are insane, so like,
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. I mean, if you ever really think too hard about driving, their wheels, boxes. You're in boxes with wheels, and they're going at very high speeds. And if someone just kind of like shifted the wheel a little bit, you get a 20-car pileup,
Yeah.
and everyone's just kaboom. Which obviously don't think about that when you're driving.
I feel like I'm personally more afraid of I'm not really scared of driving because I don't really value. No, that's dark. I'm not scared of dying behind the wheel because I love driving. So if I die, I'm dying doing what I love. But
That's fair.
I am terrified of road rage.
I get that.
Because I've seen somebody pull a gun on somebody else on the road. It's scary. It's like
And that's why you
happens
gotta
way
keep
more
your
often
own
than
gun.
you think. That's why you got to keep your own when you drive a Ford F-150.
it's just like these massive metal boxes.
That's how it feels.
As Rice was saying, these massive metal boxes, and there's people in them who might not exactly be the most emotionally stable. So
Well,
Yes.
I'd like to say at least 80% of people who can drive a car should not be.
Yeah.
that's fair.
I feel
And
like
it's my job
80 is
to
a
get rid of
pretty
them.
safe bet.
And it's everybody in Maryland and everybody in Michigan. You people should not own.
Honestly, 50% of
If your
people in New
state
Jersey.
starts
I'm
with
gonna be
an
real with
M.
you,
Listen, let me tell you about freaking
and
Arkansas.
the
man.
entire
Listen,
state
I
of
don't know what's up with
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
entire.
yeah.
You know
Fuck
what?
those people.
You know what? Let's just do a blanket statement. Like every single state in the United States of America,
Should
you
not
should
own
not
it.
drive.
Yeah, except for ours. Our state's good.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Specifically,
will
not driven
say,
in our state.
as someone who's observed several people, including family members, drive in New York City, it is a completely different beast than an actual like just driving normally. And
Yeah.
if anyone drives like that normally, like you do in a city, especially in New York City, I think you should reevaluate your mind, because I feel like you have some demons going on if you're driving that way constantly.
I will say some of the worst drivers I've seen are New York drivers.
Yeah.
Like actually, or more just incredibly aggressive
Bubba
without
Light.
any of the
Yeah.
skill to back it up. You know what I mean?
100%.
I feel like, and like as someone who is, who has grown up in New York City, I feel like the word defensive driving was made for that.
Yeah.
Defensive driving combats aggressive driving.
Like straight up a New York driver could be like, they'll be on the complete left end of the highway, and then they'll like be like a millimeter away from their exit, and they'll go, oh wait, it's my exit, and then they'll just like go ahead and just swerve across the highway and cause like a 10-car pileup behind them.
5 lanes. It's like, oh man, I got here right before the Wendy's.
And then
closed.
like
Oh, man.
one person honks at them because there are people dying behind them, and then they'll get out of their car and shoot them.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that sounds about this checks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the time. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but it reminds me of the time when I was in Arkansas and we were driving, right? And it was mild traffic, and this car just does a very very funky thing, and if we had not braked in time,
Mhm.
we would have been like slammed in the side by this truck, this like large car who just decided to as I call it, thread the needle.
Yeah.
It's gonna go
dude,
and like go 3 lanes to the
I
right,
fucking hate that.
just like right through that minimal gap. And if you don't slow down, what you're doing is trying to put a rope through a needle.
Yeah. And that's how it feels to drive a Ford F-150.
That's how it feels to drive a Ford F-150. Ford F-150, please sponsor.
Specifically, just the
maybe not.
F-150. Specifically, just the F-150.
Exactly.
Just the Ford
Just the
F-150.
No. Not even get sponsored by Ford and give us Ford F-150s. We want the Ford F-150 itself to sponsor us.
Exactly.
That's right.
Give it
Yeah,
sentient.
Ford, are you listening to us?
Ford F-150. Please sponsor Autobahn.
Sam Witwicky.
Sam Witwicky. I am Ford F-150.
Sam Witwicky.
But yeah, no, like
I feel like car-related anxieties are always, to an extent,
they're always justified.
Yeah.
They're always like justified to an extent.
Totally.
Yeah, not necessarily
Yeah, 100%.
irrational. I mean, eventually you get
yeah.
comfortable with it, but it doesn't make it.
I'll
any less
say
scary.
if it's literally just driving in a car, right? Like more like inside roads and stuff like that. Then I guess you could maybe see it being irrational. But even then you have like wildlife and stuff like that.
See, it's funny
You know,
because
realistically,
Especially around like where I live. Like I know there's a shit ton of deer. Like I love going like 50 down like an open road, right? And then suddenly there's just like a whole like herd of deer that just appear. And I gotta make sure that like if my reaction timing is off by like a second, then looks like my car's gone.
oh dear.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the highway is probably, in my opinion, the more safe option to drive on, just because it's a little more open, and that's my personal experience.
Realistically, it is safer, but at the same time, you're going at way higher speeds, and people just generally speaking are more aggressive on the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people often like, oh, my exit.
Yeah, that's why you're the most aggressive. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if you really do think about it, though, it's like it's less a fear of driving, and it's more just a fear of people.
Yeah.
People on the road. That's basically just what
like
it is.
the worst part of driving would be perfectly fine if it weren't for other people existing, and usually that includes yourself. Like I will definitely say, I consider myself a pretty good driver, or at least a pretty alright driver, right? I have definitely gravely inconvenienced a good amount of people just by being on the road, and that's not even entirely just my fault. That's just,
That's just how it is.
Yeah, it's just the nature of being, someone with a car or someone who drives a car, is that you are just going to be a nuisance for other people, and other people will be a nuisance to you.
You think Henry Ford anticipated this? You think as he
Probably
was
not. He was a little more focused on being a pretty terrible person,
on exploiting labor.
Exploiting labor, being racist.
I don't know if Henry Ford predicted this, but he was just
that
kind
sick
of
bastard.
an asshole.
Kind of,
That sick son of a gun. But yeah. Anyways, so that's a pretty rational fear, I'd say.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut that entire thing from the
I hate
podcast.
you.
You didn't follow the prompt.
You're not cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
sussy
Rules,
baka.
guys.
Nearly
idiot.
20 minutes in, and we're gonna restart.
I know you're
We're gonna
restart.
restart.
To your house
Yeah.
and poop on your lawn.
Just to prove it, we're gonna restart. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. All right, next in the firing
pecking
line,
order.
we have what?
I'm being fired.
In the what?
No.
I just got here.
Wood-fired pizza.
How's pizza gonna get a job now?
Speaking of pizza, Jazz.
Yeah. What the
What's
thing
an
I
irrational
can't.
fear?
Damn, that was a perfect segue.
I actually have an
Yeah, I know.
irrational fear of gluten.
I fucking wonder why.
It's almost,
Whoa, no
it's almost
way.
like I can't eat it without getting sick. It's crazy. No,
Oh,
I think,
that fear goes deep.
I guess irrational fear. I mean, fear of failure is pretty rational. So, and that's more dark. So I don't want to talk about that. But
It's also
I am
off
scared of
topic.
loud noises, like fire alarms, gunshots, fireworks. I don't fuck with it. I can do like concerts. I love concerts. And if it's loud sounds that I like if it's a
So I
loud
guess-
car that I'm controlling, it's fine.
So I
But
guess-
if it's a loud sudden noise out of my control,
Could you say that if if it's sudden, you don't like it.
Yeah.
Whereas
balloon. Yeah, if it's a sustained loud noise, if it's just like a band playing super loud, it's like okay, whatever. But if it's the drummer smacking the snare drum out of nowhere super loud, then
Yeah.
Like
So like as long as you're expecting it.
Yeah, most likely. It's more yeah. I mean, even if I am expecting it, like I would still like some ear protection. Like if I have a gun in my hands, I would like to wear earplugs.
I think that's just general like good gun safety though.
Yeah, it is, but I know some people who raw dog it, and it's like,
totally.
I don't know how you do it. If it's under, like, I like loud cars because they're under my control, or people that I trust.
By having partial hearing loss by 30, that's how they do it.
Exactly.
Man, how do you do it? How do you shoot without muffles? Huh? What? How do you? I said, how do you shoot without what?
Exactly.
Speak up! I can't hear you.
So I think it's ever since I was a kid, I was like, my doctor was like, yeah, he just fear of sound. It's like, just keep him away from him. And so, I mean, that's why, like, whenever a fire alarm would go off in like an academic building for like a drill, or whether it was somebody being stupid and not putting water in their goddamn mac and cheese, that's always why I wore earplugs to bed and always had earplugs on around.
Wait, I don't get it. Why is someone putting water in me?
Gosh darn it.
And what does cheese have to do with it?
That was a really good one, bro. I'm gonna give you a high five.
Oh, yo, sick. Hey Siri, remind me.
High five.
You can have Siri remind you of something if you get to a location, which I think is really kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But
Remind me when I arrive at his house to give him a high five.
remind me.
You at 3 a.m. At 3 a.m., like right outside your apartment, you get the notification, give Mac a high five, and you just see me just standing out in front of your apartment building, ominously.
Menacing.
Reminder: give Mac a high five.
What?
Would I if Mac was standing out front of my apartment at any time of day or night, I wouldn't be like shocked. I'd just be like, oh, he's here.
There he is.
He
has arrived.
Well, I lived a good life up until now, I guess.
It's over.
Listen,
As I
words,
break into your apartment to force feed you bread.
The last words you gotta say is like, "Oh,
I've got a whole.
So he has come.
He has come.
I've got a whole basket of Olive Garden.
Unlimited breadsticks.
Unlimited.
But yeah, that's pretty much
Sponsored by Ford F-150.
I've got unlimited breadsticks, but you've got a limited lifespan.
Yeah, that's really it. I'm not really scared. I mean, everything else I'm scared of is pretty rational. So, I mean, loud sounds themselves aren't necessarily a bad thing. They're bad for your ears, but like that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really fuck with that,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Next up on the firing team, let's see. We've got Mr. Cheese, Mr. Donald, Mr. Mac.
Yo. I guess it depends on whether or not you could call this a rational fear. A rational or irrational, because I'm sure there are plenty of people who would agree with me. I absolutely despise insects, personally, and I'd say it's less of a fear and more like a primal disgust. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I understand, the role that a lot of them play in the ecosystem, food chains and all of that, as it happens. However, I would not be all that torn up if just every insect on the planet just dropped dead.
Just perished.
Yeah, just like, oh no, the entire ecosystem is like actually screwed up, and we're gonna be running out of food in like another like 3 months because everything keeps dying, and meanwhile I'd just be good. Good.
Food chain, we've broken these chains and become free.
Yeah.
I am free of this chain we call food.
This mortal coil.
I have finally
this immortal
severed the food chain.
I've broken free of my
Dude,
food.
it's
Your
me
entire
going on
background,
me
all
on
the
a revenge
grass.
quest against every insect in existence, armed with nothing but a can of Raid and a fly swatter.
Dude, all the grass around you is just turning brown, wilting.
Yeah.
All the animals are just like dying, falling from the sky, just like turning into dust. It's just, this is what I wanted.
Like,
I am becoming
Like,
death,
even-
destroyer. Of
like
worlds.
even if you don't feel that way about insects, you got to admit there are definitely some that, you know, I feel like we would just be better off as a society if they
Mosquitoes.
just didn't exist.
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes,
Mosquitoes,
cockroaches,
literally.
Wait, can I ask?
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insects? Just insects or bugs in general?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm actually kind of cool with spiders. Not like big spiders.
What about centipedes?
No. No.
No. Okay.
No.
No one. I feel like no one should like.
What about
And if
Like,
you
they
are,
got so
and
many
if you
legs.
are, you are inherently weird, and I am judging you. Like,
I mean,
think,
because I'm
I
thinking
think
like
inherent. I
arthropodic, like,
inherently
insects.
think less. I think less of you as a person if you could genuinely say you enjoy centipedes.
Yeah, because
This is a personal attack against.
I don't think anybody.
against
I'm
you.
not sure there's a person on the planet who is.
If there is,
Actually, you know what? No, I take that back.
if there is, I gotta go ahead and make sure I'm covering my bases.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I only say that because you mentioned insects in specific, and insects
That's
are just like
true.
very narrow, and I'm thinking like, oh, what
I
about
will
like
say,
arthropods? and
Okay,
just, like-
personally, I'd say the ones that I actually am kind of chill with. Dude, bees are cool. You know, they're
Yeah, bees are
yeah.
cool. We like bees.
yeah, bees are cool.
Fuck wasps though. Fuck
no,
wasps.
no, fuck wasps.
no, wasps can die.
Fuck wasps.
No, like legitimately, they could just drop dead and I wouldn't care.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
mention
What?
if we're talking insects,
Mhm.
I hate fire ants. Fire ants
That's
are the
fair.
worst. So
That's fair.
That is also that is.
That is-
I personally have
fair.
never had a run-in with fire ants.
well, do you
but,
remember my run-in with a fire ant?
Oh, I remember. Oh,
Yeah.
do I
So
remember.
Story time. I
But
was coming
I don't
coming
remember.
home.
I was-
And out of nowhere, I just felt like this, like something like fell from the sky, or like it crawled on me. I just felt it on my neck. I swatted a bit, and I don't think anything about it, like at all. So I get inside, go into my bed to take a nap, and I feel like burning on my skin. It's like under my shirt. I take off my shirt, and now there are just these bumps, these red bumps all over me, and I'm like freaking out, and I see this red speck, and it's a fire ant, and all throughout my body, all around my chest, there's like several like areas you could see visible bites from, and it's just burning. It like absolutely hurts, and that's just one of my experience, like with fire ants. I had another experience where I was wearing flip flops, and a bunch just crawled on my leg, and they started biting it, and there were just welts all over my like bumps all over my leg.
No.
And apparently a classic way of getting rid of fire ants off your body was to spray it with rubbing alcohol. So my mom she has like this container, like this you know those containers in pharmacies where it's just like 72% alcohol or like 90% alcohol, like that
Yeah.
that like quart worth. She starts
Yeah.
spraying, like she just starts spraying that all over my leg, and you just see all of them like finally fall off. But like it's burning, dude.
Oh.
The name fire ant is appropriate because it does kind of feel like a burn.
Yeah. Nah.
Ooh,
No, that is
no.
that is horrifying.
Yeah. No, I thankfully have not had a run-in with fire ants, but I have I have seen them. I have seen them, and I would not like.
I don't
to.
think I've seen them, but I would like to keep it that way.
See, I think it's insane because you find them in more places than you'd think, and even in more temperate areas. Like obviously, like you'd find them in like more humid, warm areas, but I've surprisingly found them in more like temperate areas where there is a winter, and they're present
Just still
during
there?
the summertime. Not during the winter, but during the summertime.
Okay. Yeah. See, but I guess to also segue a little bit, just my general disdain for bugs, and all that, is kind of part of the reason why I think it's horrifying whenever I hear anything about anyone about people trying to normalize eating bugs or insects in general. You know, like it's like, oh, I get it. You know, it does make sense sustainability wise. You know, and I'm sure there's a perfectly fine way to go ahead and prepare them where they taste pretty good. No, just no.
I will not be trying it.
No, like actually, you could not pay me. You could not pay me to eat a bug. Like you couldn't. Not like a chocolate covered cricket. No, absolutely no way.
So as someone who has eaten bugs before,
that's cool. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna force it on you or anything, but I will say there's a point where, like, there are people who smother them in like so much chocolate. I mean, at a certain point, you're just not eating bugs.
You're eating more chocolate than bug.
Yeah, it's just like, what is it like? Oh yeah, like chocolate or something, like food is allowed to have at least maximum 6 like cockroach parts or something like that by like the FDA or whatever.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it kind of feels like that, except you know that there's bugs in it.
Also, that is a horrifying statistic, but you know.
Oh, yeah,
Well, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, it's not like it's not well, I shouldn't say it, they do end up in the food itself, but I think it's the ingredients that have the restriction. It was like, yeah, the cacao that you harvest can only have 6 parts insect. Or I could be wrong, but I remember hearing somebody speaking about like starting a food company and how insanely difficult it is because like the FDA has such heavy regulations for a reason, and like even the regulations they have in place, even though like they allow for some errant particles and stuff like that, it's really hard to like get it down to that point.
Not because there's that one company that sells protein bars made of cricket flour. You know? Where it's like what? 4 to 4,500 crickets ground up for each pound of cricket flour. Then they make fucking protein bars out of it.
Oh.
How much protein is in that?
Oh man, now I have to Google it.
Yo, does it fit my macros?
Does it? No, but like there
People are too smart, dude.
Kind of wanna check MyFitnessPal if I put in like ant or cricket, if it'll recognize
How much protein
that.
is that?
Oh my god, so I think it's exoprotein is the one that I'm seeing, and I guess I'm just gonna go with the default chocolate fudge brownie protein bar because everyone likes the better flavored ones.
Oh, so here we go. 2 tablespoons or 2 tablespoons worth of cricket flour is 10 grams of protein.
That's not bad.
No, it's not.
But
anyway,
it's still weird.
Kill it.
You can just buy cricket powder.
Set it
like,
on
by the
fire.
bag.
I mean, that's just kind of how that's how they make it.
Yeah.
That's just
fire
wild.
is typically involved.
Like,
just generally speaking.
Whatever deity or god above, just smite it.
Man, I love that game.
Do they like
love
farm
Smite.
the crickets or are they wild caught?
No, they're definitely
That is a
farmed.
good question.
You're not just.
I
wild
imagine they
catching
farm them.
thousands
I imagine
of
they
them.
farm them.
Listen, that defeats
yeah,
the
I
point. It's like what if you're gonna be eating bugs, you might as well eat them wild and fresh.
Well, I feel like
Yeah,
that's-
get them nice and juicy.
But I feel like that's
Yummers.
the concept of it. Like it's more environmentally friendly to farm that over beef.
Yeah.
And see, that makes
Well, it can't-
sense.
Yeah.
No.
But still, bro,
Well, can't you? Isn't there like
But
also an
no.
effort to like grow
Just
beef
no.
out of stem cells anyway?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
like a thing?
Yes.
See,
I think
so-
Bill Gates is in on that.
So what confuses me is that we already have so many bugs from like agriculture. Why don't we just eat those bugs?
Yeah, let's eat lantern flies too.
Or locusts. Wait, I mean, people do eat
Yeah,
locusts.
people eat
yeah,
locusts.
People do eat locusts.
Wasn't it John the Baptist who like only lived on like honey and
Locusts and honey.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Locusts and
My
honey.
man was the
Ugh.
first. My man was the first Bear Grylls.
Ugh.
I mean, but also in that same vein, right? Going back to centipedes, right? there is something inside of you that looks at a centipede and then you cover your ears instinctively. You cover any orifice of your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
You're
hear the
looking at them
stories
like,
as a
that
kid
could
of like
crawl on my ear.
yeah, you
talking
hear the
about
stories
earwigs?
of kids like the centipedes and earwigs just crawling into people. And you're like,
Apparently that's a
Yeah.
myth
Yeah.
though. Like earwigs actually.
I
go
know
in.
it's a myth, but when you're a kid, you believe it.
Oh,
then it just
totally.
becomes instinct.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like my dad used to tell me like stories of like, yeah, I don't know if this is true or not, and then proceeds to tell me very realistic and like, you know, from my eyes as a kid, as true as it can get. But you know, he prefaces, you know, I don't know if this is true or not, but you know.
Meanwhile, in your head,
back in-
instantly it's true.
I
It's
feel like
instantly true.
I feel like you're setting up for disaster the moment you start off a story with, I don't know if this is real, but
there was this kid who lived in my
my head.
town who, you know,
I feel like if you start
I
off
think it's
a
also
horror
a thing
story
where-
that way, like, you know how like horror stories will be like, this is based off on a true story. Like, you already know it's crap. Like, you kind of know it's
Yeah,
crap.
as it goes.
Like,
It's
well,
not
it's
a
not
true
true. But if a story was start off with like a narrator just like acting like he's like talking to you like by a campfire, he's like, yeah, I don't know if this is true, but
I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard something
Well,
about
I heard down the grapevine.
Well, Rice, in your
You heard it on the
scenario,
grapevine.
I think it's less that, and I think it's more a matter of when you're a kid, you tend to just, you know, inherently believe everything your parents tell you. Like I know,
this is true.
like I know personally, my dad had me convinced for years that on his like when he and my mom like went on a trip to Australia and he went like snorkeling and stuff, that he actually punched a shark. And I believed it. I believed it for like a solid like 5 years, right? Until one day I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem all that realistic.
This doesn't make sense. No, dude, my dad would have the time of his life just telling me like, you know, fake stories and just pretending they're real. He didn't even say like, I don't know if this is true or not. He was like, no, yeah, this is real. Like he would just mess with me. Like, yeah, you know, I used to be like a fighter jet. I used to be a fighter jet.
Not a pilot,
jet
but an
itself.
actual fighter
Not
jet.
pilot, but an actual fighter jet. No, but I used to be a fighter jet pilot. And then he told me, like, I distinctly remember this. I don't remember the whole story, but I distinctly remember me listening to him at like when I was like 8, and him telling me this long-winded story about how he used to be a fighter jet pilot and how he's you know. Bam, how he dreams and nightmares about that all the time. And I'm a kid, I'm like, whoa, really? And he's like, no. I wasted 3 hours of my life. And I was like, if I had not said, really? He would just not have said
exactly.
anything.
Absolutely.
He's like, really?
I
No,
distinctly-
not at all. I just made
I
it
distinctly
up.
even
He
remember.
just told me straight
I
up.
distinctly even remember when my dad was telling me that story about the shark. Like my mom was like saying, "No, there." It's like, what do you mean? There's no way he actually punched a shark. And I'm like, Mom, stop being so skeptical.
It's dad.
Cynic.
Come on.
Try and believe a little once in a while.
Honestly.
You know,
Have a little
5 years later,
faith.
it's like, I just lied.
Honestly, atheist, am I right?
Who do you think I am? Right? A child?
So
I'm basically 13, said younger.
I think on a
Yeah,
similar,
basically.
I think in a
I'm-
similar vein, a similar lie
Yeah.
like that we believe as kids is like, I don't know if your parents told you this, but I'm pretty sure me and Rice have the same experience, and Mac, I'm pretty sure you have the same one, where your parents tell you, yeah, don't turn on the light in the car.
Yes.
Because
That's
it
definitely
blinds.
fair.
It's complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's like I
And it's
can't
illegal.
see.
difference.
It'll blind you.
You're like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, we're gonna get pulled over and arrested, like all of us
Cops are gonna
collectively.
pull you
Dude,
over.
dude,
What,
that is
like, what other
surre-
point does the light serve?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, parents
To
are
see?
whack.
No.
That's why
No,
we should
cops see that and they're like, oh,
It's only when you start driving you realize, man, it's just annoying. It's just
Yeah.
so annoying, especially
They just
when
start.
you're-
They just, you know, a cop just, you know, sees your car has the light on, and they just start licking their lips like, oh, it's ticking in time with a little.
Yeah, they just start.
Oh,
Do you know why I pulled you over? Licks lips. You're light.
do you know why I pulled you over? He says with saliva dripping down his chin.
You know why I pulled you over? I pulled you over because you had the
Do
light
you know
on.
why I pulled you over, Sam Witwicky?
Batman, I pulled you over because you had the light on.
I just think that's such a ridiculous.
Jingle bells, Megatron smells.
It's just so ridiculous how you believe that as a kid, though, right?
No,
Like, you're like, you put two and two together. It's like, oh my gosh, lights mean we're gonna get pulled over. It's
Oh
just
my
like,
god, I'm so sorry I inconvenienced you, father.
Yeah, that's why I don't drive with my headlights on at night.
Exactly.
I drive in
No.
complete dark.
Well, you see, I'm a bit of a rebel, so I always drive with my high beams.
I'm a bit of a rebel, so
It's
I
how,
just
it's how everybody.
I turn all the lights off, even if it's raining. I don't want to be seen.
You can't let the rain see you.
Beams,
You can't let the rain see you.
If you drive with your high beams at all times, it's how the other people know the other way they know that you're coming.
Yeah, I only drive
Exactly.
with my high beams when it's snowing.
You know, if it can't see me, it can't hit me, right? The rain, if it can't see me, it can't hit me.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
All right.
I actually have an irrational fear of the rain.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that irrational?
Then
no,
you
no,
must
no.
hate the movie Rain
That's
Man.
why
a good
every
movie.
time it's raining, I specifically go out of my way to dodge every single falling raindrop.
No, Mac. What you gotta do is you gotta cover yourself in oil, and then you wait for it to.
Oh yeah, that's
Right,
right,
right.
dude. And then I
This
can
will definitely date the
finally I can fly to work.
Cover yourself in blood. Wait for it to blood.
Listen. I already dated the podcast with the Jordan Peterson reference. Okay.
This is true.
we don't need to plague our entire podcast with like dated like memes, if we could even
It's
call
cool.
it.
Guys, do you know Doughway?
Hey guys, have you ever heard of Dogecoin?
DeWay is the newest meme out
This
today.
Elon Musk guy, he sounds pretty neat, doesn't he?
That's
Dude.
right. We're no longer that street. We were there. Hey everyone, welcome back to Meme Review.
So I was actually
Nah, dude,
listening
can we
to
become
some...
a crypto review channel?
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
It's funny that you mentioned the crypto though, because I was watching old, not watching, rather listening, because we're on Spotify. But I was listening to our previous
Wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah.
podcast episodes, and you did mention Dogecoin in the same context of dating the podcast.
Yo,
We did it. We did it again.
what can I say?
Doge
It's
never
cyclical.
dies, guys.
It's cyclical.
Character consistency.
Exactly. Yeah, personally, I have an irrational fear of cryptocurrency
That's not irrational, brother. That's
because
understandable.
I'm too attached to keeping my money.
I'd rather not invest in something that isn't a good investment.
Oh yeah.
No, dude, I swear Doge up to $1 in like a month, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
For the moon.
For the
I don't
moon.
know. For the moon. What is the
The
slogan?
lunar the lunar colony.
This is for the moon.
Dude, the lunar cult literally slaughtering an entire village for the moon.
That reminds me.
No, stop, please.
Speaking of moon, you know what else starts with the letter M? That's Mungo. Next on the line of descendants for the throne.
Nice
we have
segue.
Mungo.
Nice
Awesome
segue.
segue. So
You have Mungo.
I'll admit, in terms of irrational fears, I didn't give this too much thought, but while you guys were talking, I was like, man, what is like an irrational fear that I have? And I think one I recently like figured out, because fun fact, I am a godfather. And
Part 1 or part 2? Or part 3?
this is actually part 4, the Mungo edition.
Oh, okay. Dude, I love Francis Ford Coppola.
You come to my podcast.
But I was
Talk to
looking
me about irrational.
I was looking through my photos, and I had this picture of my godson, and I was holding him in my arms, and I realized, oh yeah, I was
a
really
literal baby.
nervous. Yeah, well, fun fact, I dropped a kid once.
Nice.
And,
Oh, okay.
He
And
had it
now-
coming
Off
though,
at
right?
school?
no, like, so the story is,
No, off the Empire State Building.
so I was holding my friend's sister, who was just, I think she was like 1 or 2 at the time, and I was holding her. But you know, babies have this like reflex to just like push away and like squirm,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like I was holding her hard or anything, like or like squeezing or like, but she started pushing away from me, and it was enough where she got out of my grip, and luckily enough she fell on a couch, so it wasn't on the ground or anything, you know.
Oh.
It was on a cushioned couch, but she still started crying, and from then on, I think I was like 12 at the time.
Oh.
From then on, I was just like, it's like, I love. I feel like I'm one of the few guys who actually likes working with children. Like,
Totally.
I think they're really cool when they're
kids are
not
great.
rubbing their snot all over you, or like,
Yeah.
I'll say this: once they're around, like, I'll say like 9 to 12, that's when they kind of, they kind of wear out their welcome.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is the point-
Unless they're directly related to you, or they're just really chill. You know what I mean?
yeah. There's
Yeah.
a
I feel
point
like-
where
yeah.
there's like
It's like
they
the
start-
age of like 11 to 13, where you
but they
just
start
decide to
acting
become
like
a
really
nuisance.
bad people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they don't develop a sense of morality yet, but like they act like they're just bad people.
I'd say
like, I
once
feel
you're
like that's
14.
middle school. Yeah,
I'd say 15 because I worked at a summer camp.
That's
and
fair.
14 was bad too. I think 15, 16 is when it starts to kind of wear thin, and they
That's
get
fair.
down to
Run-
being
that's-
like, oh yeah,
That's when I think you start to kind of become a person, and then once
Yeah.
once you actually turn 18 is when you start becoming a person.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Obviously,
That
that's
makes
when
sense.
you start getting your rights.
You're not valid until then.
Because I will say, I
Yeah,
personally do not recognize anything from myself before the age of 18.
Listen,
That's fair.
if there's anybody under the age of 15 who tries to have an opinion, and it's not worth listening to.
No,
it's
it's just
Yeah.
incorrect.
Yeah, we don't
Your
like them.
opinion is invalid.
And yet they'll
you must meet a certain
still
age
keep a
requirement.
Twitter account. Ugh.
there goes our 15 and under audience.
Oh no, sorry
Oh,
guys.
no.
I'm sorry to
15
really
on
split the
audience.
audience here.
Oh no, what a
Man,
loss.
here I
You
am.
really
I'm
got
dating.
all 5 of them.
I'm dating the podcast. I'm like, I'm splitting our audience. Honestly, I just really like killing this podcast, especially since I almost never show up to it.
Yeah,
Shows up to podcast, dates it, refuses to elaborate.
Leaves.
leaves.
Yeah, I never show up for another episode.
Hey everyone, I'm back on the podcast. The day is it is currently year 2022.
It's current year.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah,
Way
but
to
like
date
Get
it.
doxxed. We're gonna get
I-
doxxed, bro.
I will
Let me
actually
stop.
say, on the topic of like dating podcasts, I will say some of my favorite like episodes of like other podcasts I've watched is just hearing them talk about like current events for like the time, because it's really interesting hearing like takes on it from all the way like 2-3 years ago.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Yeah. There is something
Especially when
interesting
you're putting it in the context of like, current information or what you know now.
Yeah, because I feel like information just comes out later. Like, I've seen drama in which information came out a year later, and it puts a whole new perspective on things.
Yeah. No, like totally. It's just really interesting to go through, because I know there's this one podcast I've been watching where I just decided to go through their entire back catalog, like on my drive to work, and it's just really strange hearing them talk about like 2018, 2019 stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Now I'm gonna alienate all of our viewers from 2018.
That's okay. We can
no,
rein it back.
you're cutting our listener population in half. No, what are you doing?
Now what are we down to, like 1.25?
We're down to 1.25 people.
Oh no.
What happened to you're gonna cut down on the 0.25? Oh no! I've got ahead and I've cut down on our 0.25 audience.
Yes, all 12 are our audience.
Exactly.
Now we're down to 1.
Yeah, but just
Well,
reining it back.
you know what? Here, let me split it even further.
Okay.
Hey you, single viewer of our podcast. I actually despise you. Fuck you. I hate you. Watch something else. Just do something else.
It's just
God,
Rice
just
listening back to the recording,
Look
editing.
at your life, dude. Look at where you are
Weeping.
going with your life, and how has it led you here?
Dude, it's just
you
gonna
should
be
kind of
Rice.
be ashamed.
Dude, it's just gonna be Rice
It's
or
just
me,
just gonna be-
just like listening on the road, just
Yeah.
like to the podcast, and you're just
It's gonna be like a
calling us.
really bad. So they're gonna be having like a really bad day, and they're like, "Oh well, you know what? At least I could put on this podcast, and like I'll at least enjoy the drive." And meanwhile, I'm just actually just berating them their entire existence.
No, please, no. No, this can't happen.
But yeah, just
No,
to rein
no,
it
no,
back
wait,
on my
wait.
irrational fear, because fun fact, that's
Oh,
what we're
yeah.
supposed to be
that's
talking
right.
about. Yeah, no, like ever since then, like, I guess this is more like in the future, like becoming like a father or whatever, because, you know, I want to be a dad, you know, I feel like most guys do, and like,
An American dad.
you know, I have no issue working with like kids, but like every time I like hold a kid in my arms, and like, especially that one time where I was holding my godson, I was just like, please don't let me drop, please don't, like, silent prayers, just being like, please don't let me drop the kid, please don't let me drop this, like, this bundle of joy in front of their parents sort of deal, just like, because I've read horror stories of that happening, and it's just scary. You know, I've this
totally.
I definitely have like this bad habit of like, is this possible, or just like I wonder what the odds of this are happening, and then going on the internet looking it up, and it's like, it's not uncommon. And I'm like, thank you, like, it's rare, and thank you for making me feel like the outlier that will actually do it.
I mean, like,
yes,
I know there was
the information.
I know there was this like one YouTuber I was like watching who was like he was like talking on this like one podcast, and he was talking about how his dad told him when he was 18 that he actually fell down the stairs while holding him. And luckily he was okay, except for the fact that he like legitimately broke his arm. Like the child, right? And he was like, and he was like worried because it was near the growth plate.
Oh no.
Yeah. And like, luckily it was fine.
Dear.
Luckily it was fine, right? Like, it wasn't really all that bad or anything, but no. he was talking about how guilty he felt ever since then, and how he's never talked about it because of it.
Yeah, every time I visit my friend, and his sister's all grown up now, like teenager level. You know, I don't want to be that guy who's like, hey, do you remember when I dropped you as a kid? I'll joke about it with her brother, because me and her brother are like friends.
Just be like, hey, you know, all the problem, everything that's wrong with you, might be because I dropped you as a kid.
Yeah.
Hey, just checking in. Any head related trauma?
Any
recently,
brain damage?
Any revelations of brain damage, or, you know, stuff like, I don't want to drop the ball on you.
Any
epileptic
episodes or anything like that?
If so, please ignore.
Sorry
them.
if I severed your brainstem as a
Oh my god.
I just happen to drop
Thank you
under
for
a
making
pair
me
of
feel
open
better
scissors.
about this.
Oh, of course. hey man, what are friends for?
You know, we're here to build you up,
Exactly.
and then tear you down.
Ruin it.
It's, you know, it's the joy of building up a wooden block tower just to see you topple.
If and when I have a child, I'm going to put him or her into your arms and simply watch you.
I will coat him
I'm
or
going to
her
pressure
in
you into
olive
failure
oil.
and then catch the child.
I'm going to put him or her in your arms, and then wait for when, like, and then walk out of the room, and then come back into the room pretty stealthily, and then just scare you just to see if you'll drop him.
I mean, to be fair, I will say I've gotten better since then. You know, we're getting to that age where, you know, it's not uncommon, but like, there are people having
to have kids.
Yeah, people we know have kids, because like, let's say plus minus like 3-4 years.
Yeah,
like, it's like it wouldn't be like uncommon for our age group to have kids.
I know, at least like 2 or 3.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. Or like, even
It's
like
whack.
the people who are like 5, 10, like even 10 years old, like babysitters or like family friends, like they start having kids, and you're just like, and they want you to meet their kid. So like, I've been exposed enough to like family friends and friends' kids where I'm like, okay, I'm getting better at this. You know, I don't fear it as much, but like, it's, you know, it's always in the back of your mind. It's just like,
Yeah. Oh no. Please don't say that.
Crunch.
What's wrong?
It does. We're gonna.
It has a very different connotation.
Okay. For context, we just cut out a part.
sorry.
Hey, me in the future, cut that. Not this. Cut that. You know what I'm talking about.
It's okay. In all fairness, it's
Yeah,
the worst thing.
yeah.
It really isn't.
So, you know, I'm afraid that, like, you know, with a kid, like, I'll be like holding on to them like really strongly. Like, you ever hug someone, or like they give you a bear hug, and it's just like they squeeze you on purpose, like to like like where it's just like it's a little too hard, you know? Like I'm afraid that like my grip on like the child like is too loose so they fall, or it's just like, you know, or I'm harming the kid. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy who accidentally harms someone's kid or harms, like, you know, just anyone.
You ever see like a piston, like a piston, like
yeah, I play Minecraft.
You know, like one of those pistons like crush something.
Yeah.
Not
That's
that.
you.
That's the goal.
No, I thought you were gonna be like, no, that's you.
That's you, right? No.
Right now, you are physically destroying someone's child.
I'm sorry,
currently.
Mungo.
Please don't. There goes there goes years of like telling myself I'm okay out the door.
Years of development.
What? Oh, I googled what that meant. Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
I didn't know what that meant.
See, it was a normal phrase until people, you know, used it for something else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But anyways, we're gonna move on past.
Okay, so anyway, what about your fears?
Oh, me. That's right. We're at the end. We're at the end.
Yeah, what are you afraid of? Tell me.
We're at the end of the legacy here. It's me. It's me, right?
Yeah.
So
honestly, what are you
I was thinking about it. You know, having everyone go before me, you know, definitely gave me time to think. I didn't use that time effectively, but honestly,
I thought you were gonna say that was an irrational fear, but okay.
Having people go before, you know, I like, what is it? I guess I mean, I'll say my irrational fear, but originally I was thinking about, you know, like, you know, I get stage fright, but then again, like that's not.
I feel like that's very normal.
Like, irrational. I feel like that's normal, but stairs. Thinking about it, like, and I'll explain why. Now I'll give a little context to this. So, anyone here or any of you, any listeners, have you guys watched Final Destination?
Yeah, I've seen the clips.
I've seen clips.
SpongeBob music.
No.
Okay, so
but I feel like I know where you're
premise
going with
of Final Destination. You know, these. Okay, we're gonna cut straight to the point. You know, these people cheat death. You know, and they go ahead and like, oh, we did it. We cheated death, and death was like, nah, we're not gonna do that. So it was just a whole movie about people dying to very like convenient or like very improbable accidents, right? You know, like, you know, ladder falling, like a train on the tracks and like a car getting stuck on it, things like that, right? Watching those series of movies, although they're goofy, it will make you look at everything and think, I wonder if that will do something horrible today.
Oh, so like the fear of the butterfly effect is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically that. More like the fear of like small things happening, and I'm not gonna expand it to that. I'm gonna specifically mention stairs, and I will expand upon it later. But it's kind of like that thing, like, you know, you're drinking a cup of coffee, and then, you know, you have a straw. You have a straw, you know, like a relatively like one of those like coffee straws with a little point in. You happen to put it in upside down, and then like someone just walks by, actually like shoves you, and you've got the cup right up to your eyes, like, bam, you know. Straw right in your eye. Now you're dead, right? That sort of thing. That's the Final Destination type death, right? And boy, oh boy, do they get gruesome after like the first movie. There's like one involving an elevator. Listen, if you've seen all the movies before, there's one involving an elevator and like mannequin heads. Like it was elevators. For a time being, I was afraid.
See, I feel like stuff like that just isn't good for like someone's mind. Like especially someone who like likes to have like a little domino effect, like draws conclusions.
Yeah, it's
especially if you believe in like Murphy's Law, where you're like anything can happen at any time. Yeah. While improbable.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Anything can go wrong at any time. I imagine it's terrifying if you follow that.
Right, and I watched these when I was like younger. You know, when I was like.
That's
yeah, that really
bad.
dwells on your anxiety.
Because that's when when your mind is developing too.
Yeah, there was a period of time where I was just like, I wasn't afraid of everything, but I ran through like the possibilities in my mind. And sometimes I still kind of do that from time to time. And I just have to think to myself, that's not gonna happen, right? But the thing is, right? So my room, right, where I am currently, is right in front of the stairs, right? And I'll explain stairs. You know, like, you know, they're everywhere, right? You know, you use them a lot. Going up the stairs, going down the stairs, realistically speaking, right? Stairs are, you know, all it takes is one misplaced cloth, an oil spill, a big oil spill, right? Or someone went ahead and just dropped some like water on the top of the stairs.
Holy shit! BP was just at my house.
Yo, BP was at my house. I cleaned up all the oil. I think. Ooh, whoops! I fell down the stairs. But yes, falling down the stairs. Not for me. Like not like me personally. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fall down the stairs, right? But it's more just like if someone's having a conversation near the top of the stairs, right? And it happens often because let's say stairs are in a hallway in a main area. And you're walking down, right? And like someone just stopped and is having a conversation in like front of the stairs, right? And then you just like, whenever that happens, it always goes through my mind. I just look towards the bottom of the stairs and like, I really hope you don't fall down the stairs. Like I wasn't thinking about pushing you, but like if you fell down the stairs, that'd be horrible. That'd be horrible. So like I do everything in my power just to move the conversation away from the stairs, or at least to start going down the stairs, right? Like I don't stay like on top of the stairs. Like I feel like something will just push you off.
So as a kid, did you also watch 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yes.
I did not, because I knew it would.
And it does. I think one of the disclaimers they have, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, it's like these are not actual deaths, but rather close encounters with death. And I was like, that does not make me feel okay.
This isn't a true story, but it might be.
Yeah, that actually makes it worse, because then it makes you think about it. You're like, this could happen.
Yeah.
I could be the one this could happen to. They barely survived.
But like,
what about me?
What about a million ways to die?
Like, and this only solidified it itself, right? When I was younger, right? My dad was like carrying like my younger sister, just messing around, playing on the stairs, right? And then bam, we've got carpet stairs, right? And that like you got carpet or wood stairs, that sort of thing. Boom, he slipped, right? And thankfully he made sure my sister didn't bang her head anywhere, but he slid down the stairs, and that sort of like he slid down the stairs. Like thankfully he didn't like free fall down the stairs. That's something else entirely. Right, so like fell down there. That was very scary, especially since he like cracked his tailbone because of it. Right, that's how like that impact was. Right, and that's like before then I was like, oh man, like I hope it doesn't happen. I don't think so, but then I was like, oh, it happened, all right, like right in front of me. There it was.
So right? I'm on the Wikipedia page for 1,000 Ways to Die. And here it is. The program recreates unusual supposed deaths, true events, and debunked urban legends, and includes interviews with real medical experts who describe the science behind each death. And up until the end of season 1, the final story of each episode showed actual footage of dangerous situations that almost ended in death, along with interviews of those involved in the situations. A portion of these deaths have been nominated for or have received the Darwin Award.
I don't know. I could never watch something
it freaked
like
me
that,
out as a
I feel
kid.
like I just get way too paranoid.
Yeah. Well, some of them were like incredibly stupid. And to give you so
totally.
The US version of the warning says the stories portrayed in this show are on real deaths and are extremely graphic. Names have been changed to protect the identities of the deceased. Do not attempt to try any of the actions depicted. You will die. I'm like, looking at that, I'm like, holy crap. And like, yeah, this series also had like very bad ratings, apparently. But like, it's hard to tell like whether or not some of these are true, because like they do say like, yeah, some of these were close encounters, some of these were urban legends, some of these did receive Darwin Awards, but I'm like,
like that's
but to help you understand the ridiculousness and like how of some of these deaths, I remember one distinctly where this guy swallowed a chain and it looped all through his body, and then eventually came out through the other end, and then he welded the two ends together, so he just had like a chain going through him in a loop, and like
okay,
and his death involved him accidentally getting caught on a forklift and being raised until his internal insides crushed themselves.
This is just like Final Destination type stuff,
and like it's scary, but like at the
is it bad I could see Guy doing this?
But like some of these stats are insane.
Like there's part of me that could actually see him doing like, okay, what would happen if I swallowed an entire chain?
Would it go throughout my body?
man.
Would my acid dissolve it before?
So it was like an industrial level chain, like the ones that are like 3 inches thick.
No.
Again, I could still see
I have
Guy
not
doing
swallowed non-food items since I was a kid.
this. I thought you were gonna say since like 5 years ago.
No.
Since like
I
yesterday.
distinctly remember swallowing a marble on at least one occasion as a child, and I'm pretty sure I tried a quarter too.
Are you serious?
New Guy Lord just dropped.
What? Dude, I feel like I learned something new about you like every
You have to
single
know
day.
I was a fucking stupid child.
Well, yeah, but like
I mean,
not
we kind
that
of
stupid.
figured.
Really?
Like I didn't think someone would let you go that far.
Okay, bud, if you do it when you're alone, you don't need someone to let you go that far.
Disclaimer: children, don't do that.
Oh, we
All
shouldn't have children
children
watching in the first place.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
For yeah. Well, you know, I'll dude, you're getting rid of most of our most
Yeah,
of
we
our
don't
viewers.
They're all
remember we already
grown.
cast out anyone under 15 years old.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I mean, did it
That's-
eventually come out, the marble?
Yeah, that's true
I mean,
because
it
we
had
were.
to come
Wow.
I don't remember pooping a marble, but I know it came
Mhm.
out.
Wait, did you like like throw it up?
I don't. I was a kid. I don't know.
Guy, do you have a marble lodged in your stomach somewhere?
Dude, I was a kid. I don't know.
It's fair.
It definitely came out though, because like the marble's small enough.
Okay. Okay. All right.
New Guy Lord just
New
dropped.
Guy Lord just dropped. Call him the marble swallower now, amongst other things. But yeah, no, like to wrap up my the irrational, like, mild fear of stairs. Not only is it coming down, it's also going up. You ever like run up the stairs two at a time, or like just run up the stairs?
Yeah.
You ever
On all fours?
you ever like almost skip a step or like, you know, slip,
Yeah.
right? That sort of thing. And like obviously, you know, you catch yourself, that sort of thing, or maybe you just kind of like, you know, bump yourself a little bit. In my head, you know, whenever I go up, like whenever I run upstairs or just, you know, like just go upstairs, I think to myself, like every 1 in 5 times, I think, man, I really hope I don't like slip and like, you know, smack my head on the stair and like break all my teeth. And
So-
it's when I'm thinking about that, like 1 in 10 times of those times that I'm thinking about it, I slip. And
So I do raise the question. So how do you feel about gravity,
so you
or just about falling in general?
So-
you know what I mean?
now the interesting thing about this, I used to have a fear of heights, right? I used to have a fear of heights. You know, like I always used to say, like, a fear of heights is realistically a fear of falling, right? But like there was a period of time for like a course of a year where I gradually like forced myself to get rid of that fear of heights, realistically the fear of falling, right? Or like at least trusting man-made objects not to let me fall. Like, what is it, like, you know, going on high roller coasters a lot, doing a lot of that, like purposely looking down from like tall places and stuff like that. And as a complete side note, there's a difference between really tall places and looking down, or some like a tall place that's within your vicinity, like a ladder, and looking down. There's two very different things. But yeah, like that sort of thing. But right, like that, like I mostly got rid of like that fear of like, you know, heights and like falling and whatnot. But stairs, they persisted because it relies on you going up or down the stairs, realistically speaking, and anything could really happen. You know, stairs are in a very open part of like places because people go there. You know, this is the main source of like people going up or down, that sort of thing. You know, a piece of paper. You know, I wasn't paying attention to, boom, piece of paper, you're gone, out of here, bada bing, bada boom.
Suddenly you're at the pearly gates.
And suddenly you're there being like, yeah, I fell down the stairs.
Yeah, you know, good fear.
I mean, because think about it, like they have those chairs for like stairs.
I mean, I
right?
wanna.
Like, you know, for older people, there's a reason there are chairs for stairs.
I'm like really resisting the urge to make a One Piece reference, but and Rice, I feel like you
Resist
know what
harder.
I'm talking about too.
Resist.
I'll tell you about it after.
Well, you know, out of all the references, that one would not date the podcast because realistically, One Piece would just go on forever.
It never
Exactly.
ends.
In the year 2054, you know, they'll just be like watching this, like, oh, okay. By the way, or what is it? Apparently, Oda says that the One Piece manga is going to be ending in approximately 5 years.
Wow,
We're almost in the end game, folks.
We're almost in the end game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Watch, I say that, and I say that, and he's gonna end up finishing it in like 3 years.
So it'll still be dated.
Exactly. That's been my entire goal this entire
I have an
podcast.
irrational fear of Mac
Specifically
just
this
dating our
episode.
entire podcast.
Yeah, I don't want him marrying our podcast. I don't want him dating our podcast. I don't want to get him anywhere near our podcast. Do you understand?
I especially don't want him going steady with the
I want
podcast.
you home by 11. Do you understand me?
Listen, this podcast is my baby girl. I've dedicated most of my life to making sure she's safe. So if anything you do should change that, then we're gonna have a problem.
We're gonna have a problem here. I raised this podcast since when did we start this?
Like last year.
What? Last year, but
Oh my
July,
God.
I think.
1 year special. please, when you okay. Rice, I start when you're like editing this and when you finally upload it, please just title this our 1 year special.
Name it
I'm begging
1
you.
year special question mark exclamation point.
anniversary.
That's true. We were there. Anniversary.
Thank you for a year of podcasts.
I don't even know when our original episode came out to.
Google it.
Me neither. I think it was probably at the start of the school year or something.
No,
Like
it was
this
before. It was
semester.
over the
Had to be.
summer.
Let me check. Let me
No,
check how
definitely
old the
started in,
Discord is.
July last year.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
we had
okay,
plans,
We
I feel
started
like.
when I was still in Arkansas. No, we started while I was still in Arkansas.
Yeah, I remember.
Balls.
Oh,
Yes.
you're right.
So we started.
Yeah,
over the
no.
summer.
Well, because it looks like the Discord was created around
July.
like July last year.
July 12th.
Like
July
early
12th,
July.
So
2021.
yeah, we're definitely past a year. Wow, guys, thank you for
A
being
year's
here
worth
with
of
us for
podcasts.
over a year.
OMG.
I think our last
Exactly. Through all
Holy
three
crap,
episodes.
Wait, yeah, no,
July special.
our last episode was Dreams and Nightmares, and that was before.
There'll never be a part two. Never.
Well, that one premiered in
No.
September of last year.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute,
We-
did it
we took a
actually?
year break.
Hey guys.
Okay, in
we're
all
back from the year
fairness,
break.
I feel like we were uploading like weekly.
No,
Oh
It's
yeah,
October.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the way up until like October or around that like end of September, we were uploading like yearly, not yearly, freaking weekly. I mean, hey,
Hey guys, time for our 5th year anniversary.
Guys, welcome to
special.
episode 5.
AKA episode 5.
Episode 5.
Episode.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Jesus Christ.
But you know, speaking of ending the podcast, I think it's about that time where we go ahead and we end this
What time?
wonderful
what time is
little
it?
podcast
Oh, what
here.
time? What time is it?
Well, don't mention the time it'll date our podcast.
Don't date
Time
the
for me to
podcast even
watch.
further.
Oh, what time is it?
Time for you to get a watch.
Enough.
Time for you to get a watch. Also, you could just check.
You're on a
check
computer,
your time.
aren't you? You
You're
can
on
just
a
look in the
computer.
bottom right
We
corner.
live in a digital
No, tell
age.
me the
This
time.
will also date the podcast. For when the impending apocalypse goes and it wipes out all digital technology.
Dude, wait a minute. Our audience is watching this podcast in this stone
In
age.
this Stone Age? Oh, look. A Dr. Stone
This-
reference.
for the 10th of our for like the 100th of our audience that actually has watched Dr. Stone.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But I will
But
say,
it's
it's
still
good to
learning.
be back.
Let's do it more.
Yeah, no,
Let's do it again.
it feels good.
More.
Feels good.
It feels good. I can't wait to stop doing this for another like year.
It feels good. I hope we get a full cast next time.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe this time next year we'll have AJ join for an episode.
I hope our production company goes ahead and clears our little revival here for another year of wonderful little ramblings into our varying microphones of different quality.
Yeah.
But
Oh no, I'm excited to see what my background is gonna be looking
Don't
like for
worry
this
about
episode.
it. But to all or you know, any of you listeners that have listened up to this particular point, you know, like the end, right? You know,
Yeah.
hey, if you're listening to this while, you know, you're doing something else, perk up, listen up, come on, listen to me. Listen, you're not listening. Listen to me. Look at me.
What was that about perk?
All right. So, you know, we like doing topics. We don't often stay on them. I sometimes think we should have named ourselves like Tangerines or something. But
That's terrible.
But, you know,
I hate that.
Shut up. I'll keep the podcast going. But you know, we would like for, you know, if anyone's really interested or, you know, wants to, suggestions for topics that you want us to, you know, hear our opinions or talk about, feel free to just kind of, you know, put them in places we can see them. You know, when this comes out on YouTube, put them in the comments, or, you know, Spotify. I don't know how people contact people on Spotify. I don't know how that works. You know,
I don't know, carrier pigeon,
you know, UPS
smoke
Raven
signals.
Carrier.
Yeah,
I hardly even know.
UPS.
like the ravens that UPS sends out, or like, you know, the crows
yeah, of
that
course.
Amazon does. Yeah, like those. But yeah, like, or through our email if that's like available anywhere. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Like, our email is like available somewhere.
I love how that implies that the United States Postal System, United States Postal Service uses pigeons.
I mean, it
does partially.
It does. It does. It fully implies it. I'm telling you right now that the United States Postal Service uses pigeons.
How do you think it gets to your front door? What because a mail truck goes ahead and
Drones?
brings it over?
No, they're just metal carcasses draped over
I don't
pigeons.
get it. I don't get it. You just said bird.
The bird's the word. Anyways, that's a wrap on our topic for now. Thank you to all our listeners out there. Let me finish the end.
Guy can say something.
Okay, what do you want to say?
I was gonna say end it quickly before Guy says
Oh,
something.
okay, yeah. That's what I was doing. I was gonna do the whole anyways. That's a wrap on that topic. You know, this ending is as scuffed as the beginning, but that's okay.
If you let Rice ramble,
you know,
it will never end. So you know what?
It'll keep going. I could do a podcast by myself. But anyways, we are available on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor.fm, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts, and I think Apple Podcasts, maybe. Be sure to tune in for our upcoming podcast, or maybe go back and give some of our old ones a listen with less audio quality, but they're still entertaining. A special thank you to Anchor.fm for publishing our project. Until next time, this has been the That's True We Were There podcast, and remember, it's true, you were here. Hey everyone, Rice here. Again, just wanted to thank you for listening and for supporting our wonderful little podcast here. But since we've been gone for a bit, and by a bit I mean over a year, this episode is the first of the official season 2 of That's True We Were There. We hope to upload regularly, or semi-regularly, you know how life is, and to keep on improving our production quality, as well as our content. So stay tuned for future episodes of season 2, and thank you again for listening to our podcast.